And a very good Saturday morning to you all. It's time for a little weather extra. Those of you who are not familiar with weather extra, this is something that we do all the time on Saturday and Sunday mornings about 8:15, 8:30. It took a little while for the computer to load this morning, so that's why we're just a little bit late. This is not a severe weather cut-in. There's no severe weather happening across the Tennessee Valley, but it is raining for many locations. It is absolutely pouring. So we had some showers and storms last night. We had some gusty winds in parts of Lincoln County last night, and also an outflow boundary that moved through northern Madison County. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you didn't have any rain. You had to be outside to feel it. And I was watching the Chiefs game and Chiefs Chargers. And the outflow boundary got to my house and it was like, oh, it was a little breezy. It gusted about 30 miles an hour, but it cooled everything off. It felt so good. But anyway, some storms last night. I came in about 3 o'clock. There was some storms in DeKalb County. Rita Wynn let me know in Mentone that her dogs were very upset because it was very loud, bright, and wet this morning. But no severe thunderstorm warnings last night or early this morning. Now, we transitioned to this big old glob of rain that you see there. And I talked on air about 4 or 5 o'clock when I went on air at 5. And I said, this area is going to expand and it's going to take over much of the Tennessee Valley through the morning. And now we're here and it's raining, and it's really raining heavy at times, especially for areas along 65 right now. So in the end, just about everybody will get some rainfall. And we talked about how it was going to be last night some rain through the morning on Saturday. And many people, upset this morning that they didn't feel like they had enough rain. I just said, give it a little bit of time. We'll get there. And everybody will get a little taste of some rainfall. For those of you, there's a 5K happening. I think Angie's running it, and it's in Huntsville, I think. Might be in Athens. I'm not sure which town it's in. But anyway, it's going to be a soaker. The 5K kicks off in about 20 minutes, and it's going to rain. Philip was asking about his golf tournament in Arab. Probably still dry in Arab now, and he's probably cussing me out because at 8 a.m. he was going to kick off that tournament. But if they had started, it's just a matter of time before it's going to pour and ruin it. So, yeah, some heavy rain as we go into the morning hours, and shuts down by about noon, 1 o'clock. The back edge of the rain, I'll show you where that is. But first, I want to talk about one thing, too. If you're out and about this morning and you're dealing with the rainfall, the one thing that has changed is we went from 90s yesterday, and you wake up this morning and it's around 70. It's not really all that cool yet. You will notice the change in the air mass by this afternoon, because once the rain moves out and the clouds slowly clear out, the temperatures aren't going to move. They're stuck in the 70s all day long. So a very cool pattern compared to the 90s we had yesterday, right? All right, let's go ahead and fast forward. So I'm going to zero in on closer locations in just a moment, but first a live look, ground truth in Huntsville. It's raining. It's pouring, actually. Cats and dogs, meow, meow, woof, woof, and some solid rain falling across the area. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to pull this up for you so you can see it, okay, everybody? So this is where we'll start northeast Alabama first. If you're driving on 72 from Long Island to Stevenson down towards almost Scottsboro, so we'll say the Hollywood area, that's some pretty heavy rain right there up towards Flat Rock, and that's crossed over the Georgia state line up towards Chattanooga. A little break in the action. You pick up more in the way of heavy rainfall in the Trenton area along Alabama 65 up towards Princeton. That extends down into the Pleasant Groves, Woodville area. And then just a solid soaking rain back into New Market, Hazel Green, and even into Huntsville and even south of Huntsville as well. Fayetteville, you had some gusty winds in Lincoln County last night with a few thunderstorms that were actually not warned but had special weather statements. Now just some heavy rainfall. If you're making the drive on 64 from Winchester to Fayetteville to Pulaski, it's rain all the way through. So going to track this rainfall as it continues to move east, and that extends back down into the Ardmore Twins. Athens, some heavy rain for you. You can see down the Parkway on 231 into Huntsville, a pretty good soaking rain. This is where some of the heaviest of rain is falling right now. In Decatur, where I actually thought there was a glass dome over your area and you couldn't get rainfall, but you can. It's proven right now. Madison even getting some rainfall. If it doesn't rain in the traffic triangle, Athens, Decatur, or Huntsville, it didn't rain. So we have rain in the 3 big cities here, and that's like the ultimate gauge for many of you. Did it rain in Huntsville? Did it rain in Athens or Decatur? One area that has missed out a little bit is Florence. Now the Shoals had soaking rainfall this morning with a thunderstorm that raced on through, but it was kind of missing Florence. but now some rain trying to fill in there. There was some heavy rain in Waterloo and Cherokee earlier, and then just a ton of rain right now in Franklin County, from Russellville to Phil Campbell, back to Red Bay, to Vina, to Hodges, Colbert County, most of Colbert County getting rainfall. And yeah, it's all going to continue to move east. So the back edge of the rain is not far back. It's in Memphis. It's part of a cold front that's racing through. And it's a couple more hours to go, and then the rain will back off. Clouds will be slow to move out, so they'll linger into the afternoon, but that's just going to keep your temperatures down. You don't pop sunshine, temperatures stay pretty much where they're at. I mean, we're around 70 now, probably not that much movement rest of the morning, afternoon. Like, it doesn't look like it's going to be like, it just doesn't look like it's going to be that warm. Like, I would not be surprised if there's an area or location that stays in the upper 60s today. Like, you're just not going to move. There's nowhere to go. The cool air is moving in. The air is cooled off by the rain. You got clouds. You have all these things working against you, right? So we had a 48 first alert weather day. We still do. And once I walk out the door here in a bit, it'll come to an end. There's really no reason to have it past the morning hours because the impacts are happening right now with showers and even a few rumbles of thunder. Beautiful tonight. Once we clear out, it's gorgeous. Full moon tonight should be a beautiful look. And it'll be a little cool. You might want to bring a jacket if you go out during the late night hours and want to check that out. It'll glow and it'll be beautiful and it'll light up everything. Sunny, I've kept breezy in the forecast for Sunday. Temperatures in the 70s to near 80. Also, FYI for everybody, if you are a big college football fan, Alabama A&M at home, Auburn at home, Alabama taking on my Warhawks at home. All games this evening. Kickoff 6:30, depending on which game you're watching, right? I almost feel like when they set the schedule up, they knew what the forecast was going to be. It's pretty crazy because the rain is going to be out. The temperatures will be dropping. The only thing that could spoil perfect ideal conditions for those football games would be there's going to be a little bit of a breeze out of the north, which could affect the kicking game. But if they had afternoon starts, the rain would probably still be lingering, especially for Auburn. So having those evening kickoff times, ideal. And those of you who are big UNA fans, they're up in southeastern Missouri, taking on the Bears of southeastern Missouri State, and their weather there is going to be fantastic. So they already are into the sunshine and a beautiful day. So college football, the scheduling, they're geniuses to schedule all the games in the evening. Like, it was amazing. So there's your 10-day forecast. I'll pull it up so you can see it. If you like sunshine, that works for you. Vacation Valley, good morning, Jeff. Good morning, VV. Good to see you. Hi, Frida is on, saying hi to some other people, which is great. Annette, good morning to you. Hope all is well. And good to go. Got a lot of eyeballs in here. If you have a comment or question about the forecast and you're nice about it, I'll be more than happy to answer back nicely. Yeah, I think it's the over at Toyota Field at 2 o'clock, they're doing the wine and beer and college football thing, which it's a really cool event. If you obviously like the beer and wine, but they should be okay. Just gonna be a little cool. I would almost, oh gosh, do I want to say this? I would bring a sweatshirt if I was going to that today. I'm not going today, but I would maybe think about a sweatshirt. Damp, 71, 72, no sunshine. I don't know. And if it gets too hot, you don't want to wear it, just tie it around your waist. Be all good. It's very fashionable. It was very fashionable back in the 80s and 90s. I'm really glad that we're getting the soaking rain out there right now, because my biggest concern was this was going to be a bust and we were going to miss out. If you were going to be at one of those locations that missed out tonight and missed out today, look at how dry it is for the next 10 days, right? That's a big concern. So whatever we can get, turn that faucet on and leave it on today. Whatever we can get rainfall-wise is good, because we may not have another drop of rain for another week or so. Pattern looks obviously great if you like sunshine, but the flip side of that is it's a long, extended stretch of very dry weather. By the end of the week, temperatures will moderate to the upper 80s to near 90. Still could hit 90 degrees next weekend. You can't take 90s out of the forecast yet. It just doesn't happen in the Tennessee Valley. But the humidity looks like it will stay in check, which makes it a bit more bearable. But yeah, we're good for a couple more 90-degree days. We're not done yet. There's 90s still coming. There'll probably be a 90 next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to be honest with you. We could actually bump those temperatures up just a little bit. I just didn't deal with it because I wanted everybody to see the fact that it's going to be dry more than focusing on a 90-degree day. So that was my thinking. is that I wanted to emphasize the stretch of dry weather there for you. Crystal says, when is this moving out of Hazel Green area? It just came on. Probably not until about noon, 1 o'clock. I think noon works. Got about 3 more hours of this. A little bit more than that. And it's just going to be a steady soaking rain. This is not a severe weather threat. This is just rain. It might be a little loud at times, a little bright with some thunder and lightning. But just some beneficial rain is all it is. Not beneficial and not good if you want it out. So I think it's Michael Fitzgerald told me yesterday, I have a yard sale planned tomorrow. Can I get my yard sale in? I'm like, no, I would cancel it. He's like, good thing I canceled it this morning. Yeah, it's a good thing. Probably wouldn't want to give it a try. It'd be a little tough today to do that stuff. What am I doing this weekend, Joseph? You're singing tomorrow. I do know that. Congratulations. You sing. That's awesome. Joseph sings when he goes to the baseball games, which is fantastic. I assume you're going to be down in Birmingham, right? Tomorrow? I don't know. But yeah, what am I doing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no real plans. I got some things I got to do. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. This afternoon, I'm going to Tennessee, right over the state line, to buy something. It's called a ticket. Yeah. I want to give it a try. Can't hurt. Yes, I am doing that this morning. Crystal says, okay, thank you. Good. Joseph, you sent me a video of you singing that time. I got it. I heard it. You got a good voice there, buddy. You do a good job. You do a very good job. All right, the 10-day forecast is a snooze and boring. So let's go back to the radar because that's kind of exciting. It's got pretty colors. Red, yellow, green. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to do local. I'm just going to do a big one, okay, so you can see the whole picture. I can't go forward with the graphics. I'm really sorry, everybody. There we go. I'll pull that up so you can see it. Find your location. Just about everybody has rain right now. And ironically, the area that's dry right now, from Albertville to Fort Payne, you already had heavy rainfall this morning at 3 o'clock that moved into Georgia. So you might not be wet right now, but you already had your heavy rainfall this morning. You're going to get a dose number 2 coming your way in just a little bit. Now, leading edge of the rainfall, I mean, it's pretty much from Jackson County all the way down to Coleman County. And if you're like in Arab right now, or if you're in Holly Pond, or if you're in Baileyton, or if you're in New Hope, or if you're in Grant, or if you're in Gunnersville, you're like, I don't really have much going on. Just give it a little bit of time. That rainfall is going to inch closer to your area, and you'll have a pretty good soaking rain before this is all said and done. I've chose the high top radar site to have it on right now. I think that shows the coverage really well, and it goes all the way back into the Russellville area. And if I pop the Columbus radar up, it wouldn't look much different. So pretty much everybody getting good old soaker, which is good. We need it. Totally need it. Totally need it. Oh, I see a whole bunch of comments. This is great. Jess, happy birthday to my 7-year-old today. He hates the rain. Oh no, Jess, I'm sorry. Bad birthday gift from the meteorologist. Still going to make it a great birthday, though. Happy birthday to your 7-year-old. Fantastic. Stan Barbie, good morning. Jeff Desnoyers, how are you, my friend? I am good. My old Dodge truck quit running. Looks like the fuel pump inside the gas tank. Well, I got a Dodge, which is now a Ram, of course, and I have a little problem with my fuel tank, too, my friend. I think I broke the gauge. So I had to fill up like anytime it gets to half a tank because my gauge stops working. Still love my truck, though. Occasion Valerie, the hostess with the mostest, wishing happy birthdays. Oh, you're in Georgia and you're singing in Georgia. Joseph, that's great. Well, you have a good time singing today, my friend. That's good stuff. Maybe you can, are you singing, maybe you can sing a song like has to do with rainfall, right? There's so many good rain songs out there. Singing in the Rain is like a really good one. November Rain, that's a good one. Raindrops keep falling on my head we could do. That's a rain-themed song. Here Comes the Rain Again, the Eurythmics. There's a ton of them, everybody. Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli, I think. Maybe. There's so many good rain songs. Maybe you can sing one of those. I don't know. Vacation Valerie, are you singing? Sorry about the truck. Are you singing tomorrow? She's talking to Stan. Vacation Valerie, the hostess with the mostest, talks to everybody. But yeah, if you're going out this today, you got to deal with the rainfall. But by tomorrow, if you're going out for like church services in the morning and stuff, you're good to go. In fact, when you wake up early Sunday morning, like I can't wait to come into work tomorrow morning because it's going to feel awesome. And all this rain will have been out and all the clouds will have cleared. The moon will look bright and gorgeous and the air will be crisp and wonderful. And I'm so excited to feel a little fall-like feel. I got my Titans game tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Can't wait. Going to set the iPad up on the outside patio. I'm going to get myself comfortable and I'm going to watch my Titans probably lose the first game of the year. But I have hope. I have hope that they may be competitive. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited about it, though. Joseph says, sing me a song, send me a song, sing me a song. I'm not singing a song. No. This voice does not sing, everybody. No, that's not going to happen anytime soon. No, raindrops keep falling on my head is a good one. I agree with you. Vacation Valerie talking snow. No, I'm not singing, Stan says. Lance Adams says, when do you think it will be moved out of Lauderdale County today? Probably by like noon o'clock, by 11 o'clock to noon. It's breaking up already a bit towards the west. You can see some holes in it out towards Florence. So the steadiest of rain has moved east, but there's still going to be some residual showers for another couple hours. I would say maybe western Lauderdale County close to like 10 to 11, and then eastern Lauderdale County 11 to noon. And then that line will continue to move east. I mean, the rainfall rates will taper off. I don't know if that helps at all. That was good. Did you hear that? That wasn't my stomach. That was thunder. Got pretty good. There's a lot of lightning strikes. I had 212 lightning strikes on the counter right now. It's impressive. But you got to remember, it's counting some of the stuff behind the banner and north. So, and there's also counting some stuff that's down to the south that's going to probably lose its dynamics of a thunderstorm and become more rainfall as it moves closer to our area. We're already pretty rain cooled right now. But anyway, that's my answer to Lauderdale County. Vacation Valley, raindrops keep falling on my head's a classic. Oh, Joseph says, I'm going to, oh, wait a minute, you got to retype that. I got to hide that one, buddy. You instead of typing kickoff, you typed in something else. So I have to hide that one, my friend. But you enjoy the Auburn game, Joseph. Yep, you enjoy that. Vacation Valley. Chiefs didn't do so well last night. Yeah, it was a tough one. Yeah, Lance says opening day of dove season in North Alabama today at noon. I did not know that. And dove season at noon, I mean, that's almost simultaneously when the rain will move out. So, I mean, doves, can you hunt doves in the rain? Not good? I don't know. I am not a hunter. I don't know. But there's a lot of guys. So my buddy Sean is a big hunter, and he likes to go out. And I actually give him personal forecasts last year. I haven't talked to Sean in a while. Hopefully he's doing okay. He's not hunting right now, so we don't have to talk. But yeah, he's a good guy. But yeah, I should start making a hunting graphic. I don't know. That might offend people, but we'll see. It's so easy to offend everybody nowadays. Barbara Ann Littlefield, hey, up in Rhode Island, what are you doing? You got some heavy rain headed your way too. I saw the national package there that we ran. You got like a soaker coming, but you're still kind of warm in Rhode Island right now. That's going to change for you tonight when that front moves through. We're going to get the colder or cooler air before you do in Rhode Island. What do you think of that? Hope you're doing well, Barbara Ann. It's always good to see you on. Will it be gone by 2 p.m. in Huntsville? Yes, it will be gone 2 p.m. in Huntsville. I like the noontime hour. And I like it maybe 1 o'clock for areas east. We'll see how it goes. I will say this, though. It's a little bit behind the forecast models time-wise. Took a little longer to start, and it's going to probably mean that if your forecast models have this big chunky area of rain, right, and it's initializing incorrectly from the start, you got to adjust what the forecast models are telling you, right? I really thought the rain was going to be out by 10 or 11 yesterday. I pushed that back to noon and even 1 o'clock for areas east because longer in means longer out. And yesterday the forecast models were pretty aggressive by cutting the rain off by about 10 o'clock. And that was for everybody. That's not the case anymore. So That's why I think the noontime hour is a safe bet. Joseph says, what are you doing? Joseph, I don't even know what I'm doing today. You think I can tell you what I'm doing for the rest of the week? I don't even know. I just go one day at a time. Alexandra, Jeff, we lived in Cheyenne when you did the weather there. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I was a young pup back then. That was a long time ago. I'm actually blushing right now. Today is my 3-year-old and my mother's birthday. We're celebrating in town here. We hope you have a great day. Wow. Talk about 6 degrees separation. It's a small world. I'm going to put a little heart to that right there, Alexandra. I wish the 3-year-old certainly wasn't around when I worked in Cheyenne, right? And happy birthday to your mom, too. I really appreciate you coming on and saying hi. I think that's fantastic. I worked in Cheyenne almost 20 years ago. Yeah. 19 is when I started there. Now, I wasn't 19. 19 years ago is when I started there. So, yeah. I loved Cheyenne. Cheyenne, awesome place. For those of you who have never been to Cheyenne, go during Frontier Days, too. It becomes like a metropolis. It's like the biggest outdoor rodeo there is. And the people in Cheyenne are just the most genuine, wonderful people. I met the greatest group of people, not just associated with the TV station, but outside of the TV station too. And I love Cheyenne. I would have stayed if I could have. I had family that lived in Wyoming. They lived way up in Worland though, and that's like an 8-hour drive or something like that. But yeah, great place. Good to see you on. Thank you for saying hi. I really appreciate it. That just made my whole day. I'm wondering if you watched this morning and you just happened to stumble upon watching 48 and you're like, hey, I don't even look the same, so I don't even know how you knew it was me. That's crazy. Good stuff. Stan says, lightning 4 miles with me. Brad notification told me. Yes, you get the 48 weather alert update. Brad, lightning detected 7.1 miles away from you. I can't do it like Brad does. Brad does it his own way. It's actually recorded, but yes. But yes, it will tell you that there's lightning near you. And I'll pull that up a little bit closer and you can see it. I see the Hartselle area. I know where you live. I stalk you, Stan Barbie. And yeah, lightning just south of you right now. Not so much in the way of lightning in the Huntsville area anymore. There's another cluster of lightning though. Look at that happening over there in northeast Alabama right now. So that's in the Long Island, Bridgeport area. And that's actually a strengthening storm. That could have some wind gusts about 35, 40 miles an hour in northeast Alabama as it crosses over the Tennessee line into Chattanooga on 24. That could provide some gusty winds. It looks like it's strengthening a bit. A lot of lightning strikes with that. I don't think there's anything else even worth mentioning in terms of gusty winds, but that's something to watch right there. That's still a favorable environment in northeast Alabama to maybe spark something a little stronger right now, but that's really the only player in town. Everything else is mainly just rain. Maybe a bit more in the way of some clusters of lightning in the Hamilton area, south and west, Double Springs. But otherwise, this is mainly just a rain event, everybody. Dave, my good buddy Dave. Dave, I hope everything's fixed for you on your Facebook account, my friend. Hope you're all right. Good morning, Jeff. Getting lots of rain and harvest. And he mowed yesterday. That's because you and I have this whole mowing thing down. We know when to mow before the rain comes, right? Got you, buddy. Good stuff. Vacation Valerie. Angela, how about Coleman time ETA for ending? Noon? Yeah. It literally is like noon for just about everybody. So 1 o'clock for areas east. It's pouring in the Coleman area soon. Northwest Coleman County. And there's actually, if you look closely, right on the L in Coleman, watch that. Boom! There it is. Thunderstorm firing up right on top of the downtown Coleman area, just as the question was asked. Yeah. So the one thing too that is not a bit, but it is a tricky part of the forecast. I'm not so worried about the rain getting out of here by noon. I feel confident about that. It's just how fast will the clouds move out. Because if the clouds move out quickly and we can pop some sunshine, by the end of the day, it will be amazing. Sunny, it'll feel cool, it'll feel good. But But if we keep the clouds, it'll have that gloomy element throughout the afternoon hours and it won't get bright. That will come tomorrow no matter what happens tonight. But I would like to think we will have a little bit of sunshine before it sun sets right after 7 p.m. But that would probably favor areas west of I-65. If you're east of I-65, getting some sun today is going to be a challenge. But and if you're right on 65, you're right on the cusp, right at the cusp. So Angela asked me about Coleman. Linda says, what time for Town Creek and Cortland will it move out? Noon. Yep, around the noontime hour. Joseph says, are you English today? Oh, I have moments. I said beta and beta. I do that all the time, yeah. A little thunder there. I don't know if I point to the ceiling. I'm not praying. It's thunder and lightning happening right here in Huntsville. I just said there's not a lot of lightning strikes in Huntsville, but I see maybe one by the V in Huntsville, and there it is. It just popped, and that's the thunder I just heard, thunder and lightning. Coleman, see that cell south of Coleman, how it's forming right now? So what's happening is you're getting some like little pockets of like heavier downpours that are preceding the main line. If we're gonna have a storm that's a little gustier in the wind department, or maybe even some small hail, it would be in that area that precedes that line. So the main line of storms or main line of rain goes from High Top back to Hartselle, right? Double Springs. But where you have these little cells that are developing in front of that line, like in Coleman or up towards northeast Alabama, up towards areas like Bryant and Long Island and Bridgeport, that's where the storms could be a little stronger. And you see more lightning strikes, and it makes sense, right? Like in Coleman, you see a little blossoming area of lightning strikes. That's that storm that could be a little stronger. And what I mean by strong, gust of winds 30, 40 miles an hour. Northeast Alabama, same thing. The rest of it is just like rain-cooled rain at this point. Like there's some lightning and some thunder embedded in that big area of rain from Huntsville to Athens to Decatur to Russellville back towards Red Bay. But I mean, there's not like anything that's going to be like severe or strong. It's the area that's preceding that main line. So Kira says the weather. Yes, it's weather. I don't know what the question is. Vacation Valerie says, good morning, Dave. Amy, good morning to you, Amy Seaton. Always a pleasure to see you on. Vacation Valerie says that she visited Cheyenne back in the early 80s. Cheyenne's an awesome place. I loved it so much. Good stuff, good stuff. Joseph says, wide football today. Yep, a lot of football action for sure. Angela Coleman, because the festival is there today. Yes, there's a barbecue festival there. There's a lot of events that are taking place across the Tennessee Valley today. And unfortunately, like we've pretty much said all week, that the chance of rain was going to be high for Saturday morning. So any of those events that were going to take place were probably going to be wet to kick off the weekend. And then by the afternoon, it would get a little bit better. And then Sunday would be gorgeous. But if the event is only this morning, or if it's only today, it's going to start off very wet. And yeah, the rainfall coming down pretty steady out there. We need the rain. Bad for events. Certainly not good for a barbecue festival. Nice day for Barbara Ann Littlefield. Stan's like, I got some rain now too. Good job. Scarlett, you are so sweet, and I really appreciate that. That's very nice. I just want to come on and say fist pump to you. Very cool. I appreciate comments like that. It's very nice of you to say. Have a fantastic Saturday. I hope you enjoy the rain. And if you don't, we'll push it out. Maybe for you, we'll get it out by 11 a.m. because that's such a nice comment. I thank you. Peggy's very happy about the rain. Big heart and thanking the Lord for the rainfall. I think that's what you're thanking the Lord for. Yes. Joseph says, I'm going to Family City in October. Great, Joseph. You have a good time, my friend. No, I was not here. I do know what the tornado outbreak was in 2011. I think just about everybody in the United States knows about it. And certainly everybody in the Tennessee Valley knows about it. And so when I moved here, I had pretty much educated myself in what happened in 2011. And I was working in Peoria when it happened. Peoria, Illinois, I think. I was at the tail end of my contract there before I moved to New York. And I didn't have to cover it, but I remember talking about it on air because there was so much destruction for so many states. It wasn't just Alabama. There was a whole bunch of areas that had tornadoes. And even South Illinois did. And I remember we talked about it on air. We talked about the coverage or the extent of the damage and how many possible EF4 and EF5 tornadoes that there were. So, yes. But I was not here for it. No, I worked in a different market then. I had moved on from Cheyenne, though. I think that's the coolest thing ever. Somebody come on and say hi from Cheyenne. That made my whole day. I'm going to grab a box of Kleenex, what I'm going to do. Thank you, Vivi. I think you're pretty great, too. Joseph says, Panama City Beach. Great. Panama City Beach is a great place. I love when people come on. I think this is the coolest thing. So Ashley Justin Sanders just came on, and she types in Carrie Lee. So she's tagging a friend of the forecast of what's happening here. I caught my mic. That was a pretty cool catch. And I like that because that's what we want to do. And if you ever miss Weather Extra in the morning, obviously it's dated later, but it stays on our page. I used to do this. I used to do a coffee time on my Facebook page, and I would let it sit all day. This way, if anybody had any questions later in the day, they could ask. It comes up on my page, and I will literally, on my afternoon off, I will literally, while I'm watching college football, respond back to everybody. Like if you have a question about the weather, like if it's 2 o'clock and it's still raining for your area and my forecast is wrong, you can let me know and let me have it. I'm okay with that. And I'll answer back and say sorry. But ultimately, though, this will sit up here. We want that to happen. We want you to engage. And we would like it, you come across in the afternoon and you happen to see the rain out and you come on here and you're watching this. You say, hey, it actually worked out. Great, good stuff. But we let it sit. So if you tag somebody on it in the morning, just remember to let them know that if they watch it like in an hour from now, it's a little dated, but it still gives the general gist of what the forecast is, right? Scholar says, we almost had a tornado hit us that day. The sky turned dark green. Well, you should be very thankful that it didn't, right? Very thankful. Dark green doesn't necessarily mean a tornado, though. Usually green means hail. But, yeah. Cheyenne, speaking of Cheyenne, hail capital of the U.S., by the way. Anybody know that? If you don't, you do now. Not hail that happens in the wintertime, but hail that comes from thunderstorms, because hail that comes from thunderstorms is not sleet. They're two different things. So hail can only come from thunderstorms. And I always joke around what the hail is going on. Remember when I did that thunderstorm thing? It's a really bad dad joke. But anyway, as Big Cheddar would tell me, very cheesy. But I remember one time I went out there, I moved to Cheyenne. I was covered in a severe thunderstorm and it got dark. And I was driving in these back roads, and there's a lot of back roads in Wyoming, especially in and around Cheyenne. And I went to hit the brakes and I just slid for like 50 feet. I was going a little too fast. And come to find, it had hailed in this one town before I got there, and the hailstones were like this big. I told the story where I got hit in the head with one. I had to get stitches, right? So anyway, the hailstones were like this big, and it was coating the whole ground and made it literally a skating rink. It would hail there so much that in August, the snow trucks, the snow plows would come out and have to scrape the roads clear of the hail because it would pile up inches high. Crazy. In fact, many viewers remember when I got hit with that piece of hail on my head and had to get stitches. I was live and it hurt a lot and I wanted to cry, but I just kept fighting through it. And then I had blood coming down my forehead, and camera guy that was working, I forget his name, God, Justin, I think. He's like, dude, you got to wrap it up. I got to get you off air. And I was like, okay, what's wrong? I thought I did something wrong. Nope, I just had to clean myself up. It was really embarrassing. Yep, good old times. Good times to be had by all. Skylar says, someone on Facebook is saying power's out in the Brigaden area, and I'm glad it did. Great. That's a great update, and I appreciate that. I'm sure there'll be a few power. There always is. And whenever we have heavy rain or lightning, we'll have some scattered power outages. They're usually a handful amounts. I know this morning there was a few locations in I think Joshua said Skyline had like 27 people out, So probably a little flickering of the lights with some of the lightning, and maybe even a little bit in the way of some wind. I don't think there's a lot of wind anymore, except for that one cell in northeast Alabama, and that doesn't even look as strong now. Keep an eye on that one cell in Coleman. We got a little lightning with it. If you live in was it Fairview, along 278 up towards Holly Pond, maybe even Sneed area, maybe just east there. But you could pick up some gusty winds with that too. We'll keep an eye on it for you. I'm just gonna extend the weather extra just a little bit. I got nowhere to go. I'll just chill out with y'all for a little bit. I'm gonna keep an eye on the radar. I'm gonna stick around anyway, just in case anything were to pop and be a little bit stronger. I'm not really that worried about it. I'm gonna give it to like 9:15 probably. But otherwise, it's just tracking rainfall. And it's not really a threat. I don't even think we have flash flooding from this. But before I say that, let me just see what the National Weather Service is thinking. Oh, so we now have an update. I don't know where this is, but it says, but for situational awareness, we have 1,347 without power. I'm assuming that's Jackson County, is what the update is for. So there's some numbers there where the power outages are a little higher. Even that is not like tremendous amounts, but it's enough where if you don't have power and you're one of those houses or locations that doesn't have power, it's a frustrating way to wake up on a Saturday morning for sure. But I don't think we're going to get a tremendous amount of power outages though. Tegan, Jeff, I just joined. When will the rain be out in Sneed? We're running to head out to camp. So did you go camping last night, Tegan? I didn't want you going last night. You know that. I was going to send you a message and I forgot. But you're good to go. The rain will be out like noon. So if you want to go camping tonight, I told you yesterday that on tonight, if you're camping, it's going to be delightful. Like, I don't know if you could dial up any better camping weather. Cool, clear, star-filled sky, big old moon up in the sky. Have fun. Be safe. Good times to be had if you're going camping. Have a good time. You should be all right, Tegan. Kirsten, St. Bernard Blues and barbecues today in Coleman. What does the weather look like? Yep, it's going to rain up until about noon. Yeah. Soaker. Solid heavy rain. Even a little lightning strikes happening in the Coleman area. And what I'm going to say in Coleman, I'm going to say noon, and then I'm going to say 12:30 for some parts of Coleman County, because Coleman's big. So southeastern Coleman County or eastern Coleman County, I don't think that's where the festival's being held. Could be like 12:30, 1 o'clock. But I think most of the rain will taper off by about noon. And it's a solid soaking rain. For sure. This is not hit or miss stuff, everybody. You can see the radar. Yeah. Soaker. Sometimes you get those hit or miss storms where one town gets like 2 inches of rain, maybe even the same town. I mean, what was it earlier? I think it was in August. I filled in for Brad, and literally was pouring here at the station. But our camera, our weather camera, which is south of the station on the Parkway, remained dry the entire time I was on air, and it rained at our station, which is literally 2 minutes away, not even 1 minute away. It rained the entire time we were on for the 5 o'clock newscast all the way till 6. So that's what hit or miss thunderstorms can do in the summer, and that's why some people get so frustrated. It's also frustrating for the meteorologists because we know we're getting the rain, but it just doesn't hit that one location where that one person says, I didn't get the rain. This is not that kind of pattern here. This is just a solid rain, just dumping. Faucets on, full blast, here we go. So it's not like it's something that will fizzle out here and Coleman, you'll be good to go in like 20 minutes. It doesn't work that way. This whole line has to move out of here. And until it does, keep rain in the forecast for about 3 to 3.5 more hours. No, Skylar, there's no tornado warnings. No, I told you there wasn't going to be any tornado warnings. There was no, tornadoes were not a threat. It's just rain. Maybe a little wind. Tegan, we stayed home last night. I'm going to put a heart to that, Tegan. Tegan, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you didn't go camping because I'd be very worried about you this morning. You know, I was actually, I don't know exactly where you're camping, but in your area in Sneed, just east of you, there was some real heavy rain at 3 o'clock this morning in the Albertville area. I know because Kaylee got in touch with me and told me it was coming down. And then I looked at some of the Fort Payne cameras and it was really coming down. And so I would have been very concerned about you if you had gone last night. I'm glad we talked, and I'm glad you're going tonight instead. You have a great time. It is an ideal night for a little fire pit action. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Good stuff. Good stuff. Michael, we're going to get it in Gunnersville because we need it. Yeah, good. Yeah, Michael, you're going to get rain. I know you're the one area that's been left out so far this morning. I know it looks like an empty hole there, but it will fill in soon. And like I said earlier, I know the Facebook Live here, this Weather Extra takes a while to get through it because it's been since like 8:30 I've been on. But Albertville to Fort Payne had some really heavy rain at 3 o'clock. So what's happened is the area just west of Albertville, north up towards Grant, Gunnersville, Arab, and then down towards Holly Pond and Baileyton is the one strip of the Tennessee Valley that has not really had a drop of rain yet. Last night, this morning, or now through the mid-morning hours. That's all going to change soon. Because not only do you have the rain to your west that's zeroing in on you, but down to the south in Coleman, you can see that little area of showers and storms blossoming there too. That will lift north along 278 here shortly and eventually up 231. And there's even a little cell actually now developing just southwest of Gunnersville. It looks like on 69, Alabama 69, just east of Arab. And that's headed right towards Claysville, Gunnersville area, and eventually riding up the river up towards parts of Scottsboro Highway. I'm just watching the radar for a second. All right. Tegan says, I woke up from the thunder around 3 a.m. and it scared me. Yeah, showers and storms, last night, was the coverage impressive? No, but I could see the storms north of me in Huntsville and I could see what was happening in Tennessee. There was some pretty good boomers up there. And then that 3 o'clock cluster that developed right near you in Sneed and Albertville and up towards Fort Payne along I-59. Certainly a rude way to wake up overnight. It was loud enough. Like, I have the best meteorologist at my house. It's my dog Rubble. Storm's not even near the house. They're out towards DeKalb County. I don't know. He hears the thunder. Like, I don't care. It could be in Tennessee and he hears it. It could be in Mississippi and he hears it. And all of a sudden I hear the whining. He's all scared. I look at the radar. I'm like, bro, we're good. They're like in DeKalb County and they're going east. And he's like, no, I'm still scared. So I have to hold him. He's such a wimp. He doesn't like storms. Michael says, I do lawn care and working now, so hoping to get home early. Yeah, the rainfall will give you that ticket to go home early and watch college football because it might be a little tough to mow some lawns and do some landscaping and do your yard work or whatever your agenda was for today once that rain moves in, especially because some of that rainfall is going to be heavy at times too. It's a soaking rain. It's not that light stuff. It's not thunderstorm convection. That's pop, hit, or miss. It's just literally everybody gets rainfall today. You get rain, and you get rain, and you get rain. Everybody gets a little rainfall. Shane says, this is basically going to bring in that cold front behind it, right? That's actually what's triggering the rainfall. So last night, Shane, we had what we call some prefrontal showers and storms. This is the actual front moving through the area this morning. So what will happen is whatever southwesterly winds we had or whatever breeze or southwesterly direction of our weather was yesterday with the hot temperatures, that will quickly be changed. So once the rain moves past your area, if you have a way to gauge the wind, it should turn northwesterly pretty quickly. That's the frontal boundary that's moving through the area right now. It's the front that's triggering the rainfall. And then behind the front, it's called the cold front, but it's really more like a cool front this time of year because it's not cold, but it's certainly a game changer in terms of temperature. And think of the cold front as a plow, and it's just like, moving through the area, takes all this rain with it, and then once the rain moves out, behind it filters in that cooler air, and you start to clear things out. Once you dry the air out, and I don't mean rainfall-wise, I mean lowering the dew points and bringing in a crisp air mass, it will start to erode that cloud deck as we go into the evening, and that's why it's going to be so nice tomorrow. That is it, Shane. You got it, my friend. You got it. Joseph says, I used to live in Huntsville 10 years ago. I think that moved back. Huntsville's pretty cool. I'm a big fan. I moved here 2.5 years ago. I'm not going anywhere. Like it. It's good stuff. Hashtag good stuff. Matt says, no complaints here. We need this. We do. We could definitely use some rain. We could use a couple days of this, to be honest with you. But if you have a barbecue festival, you're cringing when I say that. I get it. But yeah, we could definitely use this. This is not usually the time of year we get something like this. This is actually September and October, unless it's a tropical induced system. You don't usually, this is kind of rare, at least for the 3 years I've been here. This is kind of odd in September to have this kind of weather setup. Can you get rain? Yeah. Is it like this kind of rain where it's so uniform across the Tennessee Valley with a front like this? I haven't really seen it much since I moved here. So this is good. No complaints at all. We need the rain. Unless you're having the barbecue in Coleman. Yes, we need the rain out so you can do that. Or if you're going camping, like Tegan's going camping in Sneed. Got to get that out for that too. Yes. Yep. All right, absolutely now pouring here at the station. I can hear it outside. I'm right near, when I'm in this studio, so the other studio is like, I feel like it's like a tin roof on top, and it's like, it echoes in the studio. It sounds so intimidating. Here, I can actually just hitting the side of the building and the roof, and I can hear it hitting the pavement outside. It's coming down pretty good here in Huntsville right now, at least at the station. I'll pull the radar up one more time for you, okay? That's a lot of lightning strikes. It's pretty crazy. Considering that when I came in, at 3 o'clock, I only had a few storms in DeKalb County. Then at 5 o'clock, I went to air, and there was nothing on the radar. And that's the tough one to sell to people. Like, hey, this is all going to fill in here shortly. And people at home are probably like, no, it's not going to fill in. I'm like, just give it some time. It's going to happen. And Forecast Models actually did a really good job with this. Maybe played out the storms last night a bit more than they should have. And you know, the models really backed off on that yesterday, and I should have even almost taken it out at that point. But there was still some storms last night, and there was still some storms in Middle Tennessee, which is our viewing area, and there was still some storms in DeKalb County while we were sleeping last night. So it did rain. It did do it. It just didn't cover much of the Tennessee Valley. It certainly missed out on the major cities for the most part. So. But here's the rain now. Enjoy. Amy Seaton says, I hope the rain stops in northeast Huntsville by noonish. Yeah, it should be getting to the end by about noon. The back edge of it's in Arkansas right now, moving through Memphis. The front's passing through now, so I like noon. Maybe 1. No, I'm good with noon. It'll be close. But certainly a better day tomorrow in terms of sunshine and cooler temperatures. But for those of you who know how badly we need the rain, not a bad day today either. Got to take the good with the bad. But if you have a barbecue festival in Coleman right now, you're not happy. I know. But that rain coming down pretty good. All right, I got to go. I've stayed long enough. I have babysat the radar the best I possibly can. I have updated you on Weather Extra. Jada will be in tonight. She'll have the very latest on a beautiful forecast for tonight and tomorrow. I will be back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 5 a.m. on your Sunday to walk you through the forecast for the second half of the weekend. Also take a look at the week ahead if we have to make any adjustments. Right now it looks real quiet. Have not had to add any kind of rainfall. I don't think we will when I have to make the update tomorrow. And then Jada will be back on Sunday night. We got you covered for the weekend. So if you like the rain, enjoy it. If you want it to move out, you got till noon. Everybody have a fantastic day, and we'll talk again soon.